on Depp as well, who has played Neon for them in the past on different types of maps, but it's always been very hit or miss with him, and we'll have to see if he can actually have the slower button, the slower pace that you see from players like Victor, and not necessarily the let's go, 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 because I don't think Depp can pull off the style that players like Forsaken or Jing could.
Already heavy aggression towards B from the defending side. You've got the vintage setup at this point, and it nets them the kills that they're looking for, but it's all been traded back. Loud gets one with the nade. 10 trades it back with a nade of his own.
We are 20 seconds in the round, and we're already at a 2v2. But look at the HP on Loud side. 13 for less, 28 for Sassy. Full on the other sides.
I thought about trying to do the math there. I'll just pass. There's like a rule. You don't do math on camera.
Well, you're not on camera, so go ahead.
Oh, that's true.
No, go ahead.
84 HP.
Nice. Yes, correct.
Quiet round, down to a minute left in this, and for as much chaos as there was at the beginning of the round, it comes to a screeching halt.
The problem here, though, is you actually have no clue what's happening on this defense. And also, for the defense, I mean, there's just so many holes right now. They could be coming behind you if they walk through halls, because I don't think they can hear the door open. There's just so much time falling down right now. They have nothing to actually cover off the gaps unless they walk up tower.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're both here now. Both Zeta Division members are here.
They're going to go low. Laz holding the angle with the headhunter, and they're going to walk right into his crosshair. Les trades it back, though. He's so weak, man. 13 HP. You see his knee. You see his elbow. You get the kill. Crow cleans him up. Pistol again in favor of Zeta.
The first pistol. Exactly the same story. That one was a really, again, a nice set piece, I think, right? Yeah. We saw the paper wreck strat on Ascent. This time we see basically every team, whoever runs Neon strat. Throw a fault line, throw a double stun. The nade was good, though, from 10-2. The reaction from Loud was just to face, which they had Pankata and Aspas out there, so maybe you want to definitely try to fight. But it's hard to get through that smoke that Sugar Zero's putting down.
Going up. See the Viper wall going up. Not nearly the same level of aggression, slightly a bit more muted, but you even saw on the minimap, Zeta took the same level of space off of utility at the beginning of the round. They have full control of halls right now. It was off of Breach's utility. So you're going to see them try to set the pace, as Mimi was saying on the desk.
And there's nothing really to react here. Saucy thankfully does have underpass control, given the teammates up on top in Arcade. And Laz is completely isolated here. They're not really rotating off of the fact that, look at 10, he's literally wide swinging the south side. Finally they rotate, but it might already be too late because this Arcade push is so ready to pounce on Laz. Thankfully the TP is there.
Depp just on the other side of this wall. Note the gun difference here, and of course Depp running forward to get all sorts of kills. And Saucy's the only one left alive. He's still healthy, he's got a sheriff. He's also got 4 targets he can drop. He's taking care of one. Seems like he was trying to draw something around his head.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close.
I do love what Depp did there, where Laz TPs and he pushes through the smoke off the TP. These are the types of timings that are not necessarily directly related, but look, instantly Depp's through the smoke, run spring. Really, really nice from him. Catches 2 players complete back turns because they're focused on the chamber who just TP'd away. Now I am curious here for Loud, how they're really going to condition the map, because this specific comp relies on conditioning certain areas of the map, making sure they're not pushing. And twice in a row now, they've lost the push fight. Oh, what?
Standing on Amali. That's outrageous. And look at the pressure. They're pinching in from both sides of the map. They've gotten corralled. The only way is either through or you flip it to the southern side.
And then Les just walks up tree. Way too much pushing on this north side. Crow has to equalize, and that's a good start. Sassy's low. Pankata 2. Oh, and the fade prowler. Again, good recognition of the timing. He equalizes, does exactly what he needs to.
They're aggressive in their swings. They're aggressive in their timings.
Les could get caught here from Les.
Les might be the one who gets caught out. No, the duel goes in favor of him. And now 10 is left alone. He's still got a Spectre.
They just hurt him.
Going fast. Pankata cleans him up. Very much like we saw on Ascent. ZETA win the first two, Loud respond.
Yeah, the problem there for 10 was he assumed that they're going to run after they kill Laz, given Laz is lackadaisically rotating. But they're super cautious. They don't actually know where he is. That was filthy.
Yeah, let's look at that again.
A really cool lineup, too, from Sadak.
And it's intended to deny that.
Yeah.
That exact play.
Yeah, well, you can't deny anything from Chamber.
Yeah.
He does what he wants.
That is true. Speaking of which, he does have an op this round. Light armor to work with. And he seems to be posted up towards B. He's been there a lot.
That's a good
And he's got the rendezvous close by and alarm bot to make sure no one pushes in as well.
And you keep mentioning the control that they're taking beginning of the map. This time it even nets Depp and Orb. And for the first time, we are seeing Sasi by himself clearing out Dish with a Prowler. But you've seen how Laz is willing to challenge that. I'm worried if he continues to want to do that solo.
Satchel clears out the alarm bot, understanding there's pressure on the other side of the map now, but he continues to push forward. He's got the rendezvous so well set up, though. Like, any pressure he feels, unless he just doesn't see it coming because they walk up behind him, he can get out towards safety.
He just gives up on that rendezvous, actually, because he feels unsafe. They did break that trip. So Les is aware of this fight coming through, but they've actually really controlled all of Southside right now in such a way that they could fight on both sides, both sites.
Face your fear!
The nade could really punish them here.
Nightfall, I don't believe, tagged anyone. Laz with a warning shot through the Viper wall. Haunt cleared out, and now a nade towards tower.
30
A little
seconds
early.
left.
It actually is going to delay just a bit. Oh, he's been caught out. Sugar Zero had nowhere to go. 10 still trying to hold the angle. Laz over his shoulder, providing cover.
It's all Les here. They have to come through tree and really reconnect with the site.
Depp playing just on the other side of smoke. 13 seconds left. The fast lane goes up. He's waiting for someone to challenge, and there they come. He's only able to get one. 8 seconds left, and I don't know that they're going to pull this off. They're not. ZETA with the 2-round lead.
It was already dire, but because of that smoke that they threw to try to execute, because they knew they had that south side, so they had to break down and cover up the tree. But that fades, and Depp throws a really interesting block. I mean, he literally split the two players.
Just more to deal with.
They've got to contain these less flanks. I think these are going to be the things that if they really want to rank, like get these rounds up, like they needed on Ascent on that defensive side, they need to control that, right? Because he's constantly by himself, and he's constantly finding value on lurks.
Let's play.
Note 4 ultimates on the side of ZETA. You heard the first one come through. It's actually for less. It's Tour de Force Online. You see it on your screen there. Operator in the hands of Blast still. And this is very reminiscent to the previous round, Baller. Remember, they took Dish control. The spike was still back in spawn. First kill goes in favor of Laz. They can take space on the other side. They can rotate, right? They can pivot around like a pendulum and take that space with the spike in hand.
It has been time ticking away in a couple of these rounds, too. Taking so long to actually bite back against ZETA, who has flipped it, right? They're consistently taking early pressure, early space.
Pancata stays A, the rest of the team towards B. Spike in hand, they continue to work forward. Sadak weak, Sugar Zero spotted, and Sadak dropped. There's just not much behind
One
this.
enemy remaining.
On the side of Loud, Aspas has the Sheriff. He's gotten one step closer to having the Showstopper online, but he falls. He'll have that on for the next round, though.
And an opportunity there for them. They wanted to just kind of dry walk up with a fully fueled Viper wall to give them all the time in the world to work those picks, but Sadak was first. He was low HP. Aspas full HP. It's interesting, too, because the desk just brought up the trade stats. Aspas is the guy who's most traded, and Sadak's the guy who trades the most. So just slightly flipping that, unfortunately. They're not able to get any value on the walk-up.
Loud call a timeout here, down 3 rounds. Note, as we think about this and kind of let this one simmer and get us all excited for the next round, there is a Viper Spit, there is a Showstopper, both online for Loud. A team that for this entire half, we haven't seen much fast. We haven't seen much go. It's been very patient. They have tools there to go explosive if they want to here.
I wonder how you're able to utilize those, though.
Yeah.
Given they don't have the Neon.
They don't have Breach.
They're using a Viper, right? You don't really have those tools except in halls, right? That's my only place that I really can see that viably working, at least on this A site. like a sand push with a prowler, those types of things to open the door for you.
Yeah.
And then the Viper pick can go down later. Out of tree, it's going to be very difficult, especially given Last is peaking very early. And you kind of have to wait for Viper Wall to come up. And yeah, this is a very interesting thing to have in mind, right? 65% win rate when they switch to the next half. It was kind of the opposite on Ascent, right? Where Loud was the guys who were like, oh, for sure going to be good on that second half. But for us, I think we're all thinking the defensive win rates for ZETA, no matter what, have been weak. And if they're flipping that in this game, it's a good sign overall for the tournament, but also a massive win condition here.
It's interesting here. Crow holds his fault line, and they still have Hall's control. There's the showstopper. The paranoia is there too. The showstopper goes wide, and Aspas falls. They also dropped the orbital strike. They invested so much to deny that control.
And it's huge. Literally no space gained from Aspas' ult just then.
I mean, they're no closer than when they started the round.
And everything that was used didn't really find value. Det was just in that corner. He's been getting there consistently. So they gave up, making sure, okay, the fault line's going to go out, the stun is going out, but they didn't really actually understand what was going on the other side of it, even though that's been happening probably 3 rounds by now.
Yeah. They still have that Viper's Pit in the hands of Sadak. You see him on your screen. No armor, 85 HP to work with. Top shot goes wide. Less than Zet duel out. They're going to push him to spawn. Less is pushing him to spawn. He spots them rotating in.
All 4 players here from ZETA have to come through this, right? It's covering, oh, not actually covering the side of Gen there. They find that gap.
Oh, and the kill goes down. There's the Rolling Thunder. It's going to push him back, and they're going to work outside of that, but Les goes untouched. Eventually falls. Numbers 2v2 here. Spike ticking away. 10 so weak, but Saucy finds a kill. 10's got to do it himself, and he's not able to. Loud get to 2. And it was plan B at the end of the day that worked out for him.
Yeah, they didn't need plan B at all on their attack side on Ascent.
Yeah.
Remember, it was just consistently going towards the same site that they wanted to go towards at the beginning of the round. Maybe a little bit of slow default at the beginning. But wherever they leaned, they went. This time, finally, you have a pivot that works. And I think there, Laz really wanted that kill. He knows, okay, I kind of cleared Arcade for a while here. There's not that same Viper wall that's going down. I think we're going to be safe on this side, given Aspas' ult through in Halls. Another exploration, though. Again, 4 players here from ZETA.
Tap doesn't have his ult. It was used in the previous round. There's so much utility dumped into this hallway. A flash. Aspas has to back up. 10 with the showstopper. Gets 2. And now the nade to potentially hit the 3rd. Saucy gets away. How the heck did he do that? The thing is, again, they find themselves in a position where they don't have very many options. You've got Laz on one side with the Tour de Force. You know you can't go A. Everyone's still there.
Brutality in that hallway.
And you couldn't see a dang thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, now because of how long the round has gone on and the delay, Crow has his fault line again. There just isn't any cue for him to drop that off of.
Dude, they're so comfortable playing Laz, completely isolated on this B site.
Yeah.
Costed them last round, but look at what happens when you go to the other side.
Oh, 10 should have spotted that. Yep, you see him instantly rotate over Crow close by. The smoke's there.
This angle from Sugar02 can lock down the round. I think they want to save now.
Yeah.
So that smoke comes down, there's no way in. They don't have, I mean, they have a haunt. Maybe they can force their way through with that, but.
But I do think you're right. You see it in the HUD. The economy's not great.
No.
For Loud, right? Like, Saucy's okay, sure, but, and Aspas maybe, but yeah, there isn't very much to go around.
Laz happy to fight right now as well. The Tour de Force is going to expire.
Yeah.
So if you can get any of these guns down.
Here.
Yeah, just no challenge. But what a hold. Again, you see this, the fault line, the Roomba, even with the Prowler in his face, he drops that showstopper, goes forward. Honestly, I still don't know how he doesn't get a 3rd there. As Saucy's trying to jump across the spam and the nade.
Yeah, and you notice too that no player on ZETA was really hurt by any utility there, right? No, no blind players. The screens are all visible. On the flip side, it was not that same.
That's not teleport's ready. We should do.
See this out again. The relay bolts down long, as we've seen a couple of times, but this time, look at how quickly Deb rotates off of that.
Yeah.
It's just the bluff that there's pressure going in. And this is going to be a really interesting position to see if they're ahead of them. But no, I think the Prowler down into Hall just cleared out any fake of attempt at pressure there. They can go into A, and it's going to be uncontested.
Yeah, because remember, you just mentioned they're flipping the map entirely. The 4 players that they're just playing 4-1 setups. This time over towards B, though. And Loud's had enough. With reading the fact that they're not in Halls, that fault line that was coming down, the stun as well from Depp. That's not happening. There's got to be something else. The only thing they've seen is Laz at Dish. Good read here from Loud. And they'll get the sights. They'll force an abysmal retake percentage to be successful here from ZETA.
This may be one of their win conditions if they want to get back into this thing. It's so early, but they find themselves at a deficit. It's going to be a straight-up 5v5. Les, note, only has a headhunter. And that may be plenty, don't get me wrong, but it's something you got to keep in mind. Look at him, he tries to get out. No, Les has already fallen, but Depp and 10 do too. A 3v3, the spike planted, Sada trying to play around, and if it's not from one side, it's the other. Sugar Zero cleans him up. He's still so weak, though. Playing on the other side of the smoke. A controller duel, keeping them at bay for now. The flash, the turn, and there's the kill. Sugar Zero gets a third on the round. Can Saucy hold them back? No. Laz gets the kill, the defuse is going to come through as well.
Again, the pace of these retakes from ZETA. We saw it on Ascent. They just want to get in and find any sort of picks. And the great thing is they come out with 3 players alive to take that 3v3. Sugar Zero got this, yeah, he was actually behind a second before, gets the spam down too. And the flash is so good from Crow.
Feeling good after the disastrous second half in Ascent. The vibes are still good.
Of course. Nothing can stop the nice.
4-round lead here. Buy not great for Loud. They want to go towards B.
This is the same look we saw the last time they had that eco round. Just walk up arcade.
Yeah, not the same look from ZETA here. Remember, you mentioned it. It's primarily just been Laz. Oh boy. That's not the start they were looking for. Sugar Zero able to get one back.
Oh, spam.
Yep, tries to stay alive. If they go into tower, they're going to have to deal with Depp. And again, this was where they made a meal of the opposition. Last time we saw them on the international stage, Depp not challenged this time at all.
Just avoiding Halls.
How do you take this back? You have a judge, and you have an op.
Let Laz work challenge while the op shots are going off. Has to go through.
He's gonna get challenged.
Oh wait, they're challenging. Thankfully they trade, so Loud still has this.
Oh my gosh.
He has a judge.
How the heck? Yeah, Sada can't close the gap, and the headhunter does it for Laz.
Are you kidding me? They challenge Halls at the last second, and the best part about that from ZETA, Depp didn't show himself at all that entire time. So they think, okay, if there's nobody peeking yet, surely.
For the judge, at the end of the day, to be the deciding factor in this Red Bull clutch is outrageous. He gets the opening kill, and then Sonic switches to it, and you're not going to hit that from that far away. I mean, what are you going to do?
And he has to use the sheriff to keep on moving around. He's like, yeah, let me just toss this down. Which, a little bit of mind games there could have really, really won, because you expect him to play a little slower.
That's such a massive boon in momentum for ZETA.
Well,
that's the kind of round that can flip things.
Yeah, but remember, they had pistols in that round late. Fast north side pinch, and the first point of contact has lost for ZETA. What is this? He almost pushed way past that wall. Sugar Zero.
He thought about it. Meanwhile, Les is just going to take as much space as
timing.
The timing. Timing not great, but there's an alarm bot there. Still on the well, there was. That gets cleared out. Les backs up. Gonna go towards A here. Laz still has that up, and oh, he's gonna get smoked off. But Deb down low. Prowler doesn't hit him. Oh, and the orbital strike. Does Deb hold it? He swings out and he falls. Aspas goes past the fire that's raining down from the heavens, and that's all he's able to get. But once again, the kill is traded back and forth, and Laz finds himself alone, trying to save whatever he can. And the challenge just on the other side of the wall. The elbow betrays him as Last falls.
That looked like it could have gone terribly for Loud. But Depp just tried to hide inside of that orbital strike and swing out against Aspas after the push came out on top of him.
Which is bold.
Very.
Very bold. Man, he's had there a long time, too.
Well, the interesting thing is Aspas was not worried at all about the actual site, right? He cleared the top of it, obviously with his vision as he's satcheling, but didn't really pay attention to the bottom side. And again, Les coming through with that late flank. Ends up really punishing, I think Laz comes through when he comes through the door. There's so much there that they have to be concerned about. They haven't really addressed it just yet.
Well, I think Loud are starting to get a really good read on what ZETA are trying to do here. They had so much dish control, that they knew that there was pressure coming in through halls, and Les did just walk right into Les's lap, but 10 trades him out. See the Viper spit go away?
Oh, this is so interesting.
It's a fake, and they're gonna bite.
Laz biting here is definitely a problem for them. Oh, the trademark.
It really seems like Loud have gotten to beat on the situation here. The paranoia out, it's just
what?
And of course,
wait,
that again is enough. Saucy looking to plant, trusting Pancada to cover him. Now note, Saucy has that Nightfall. And they've all retreated to tower. They've all retreated to the northern side of the map. Sadak smoked off.
They have much more control than it appears right now, ZETA.
Face your fear!
There's a Nightfall. They've got him. The Prowler, is he going to hold it to half? He might stick it all the way because you've got Crow as the defensive line, but no, Sadak trades it out. He gets the second two. Sugar Zero going to have to do it himself. Nice try. Surrounded on both sides, and he's not able to isolate that 1v1 at the end and get the kills.
What a round for Loud to win. Last tried to bring it back within his grasp, but at that point, Loud gets back on the site. That fake worked really well.
And you can see it unfold at the very beginning of the round.
You mentioned how Loud looks to have the beat on the situation. The thing is, ZETA's only shown 2 looks, really, right? They're playing the 4-1 on one side, or they're playing the 1-4.
Yeah.
And consistently, it's Depp throwing out both the stun from him and then Crow with the fault line too. And again, it's just this time not going halls. Oh, Laz got the tour de force.
And there are 5, literally everyone is on the other side of this wall. The Prowler, how patient are they? And he's gonna hold the angle. The second Prowler, the paranoia. Surely you don't overstay your welcome this much, do you?
Oh!
How?
One tap with the judge.
Of course. And now that's still in tow, but Deb goes aggressive. Sadak able to trade it out. Once again, the line is Sadak. He's got 3 on the round. How much more is there? Saucy and Les, can they get this thing back? They've got the spike, and once again, it looks like it's going to be a fake. Les, draw attention, draw pressure. Maybe Saucy flips it. And as we've seen time after time in this map, in this series, things go very fast, and then the silence just deafening. As no one wants to move an inch. No one wants to make a single footstep.
30 seconds left.
And there it is. That's the cue. Sugar Zero attempted to swing off of that, and well, for good reason. Not a lot of time left. The jiggle. There it is. You spot him. Challenges again, and this time Les wins it out. And they know where 10 is too. Too clean at the end out from Loud.
Just the pivot. We didn't see much mid-rounding, but that round specifically and the round prior, they brought this back to an even game. 3
rounds to clean out the half. We mentioned it. It felt like they were starting to get a good idea of what was going on, and they respond gorgeously.
It's awesome to see King of Chamber, King of Judges, back at it again to Laz. He already used the shorty in the round, by the way. Those were not able to reload it, and he pulls out the judge.
What a half. What a response out from Loud. ZETA still with the lead. We'll throw it down to the desk.
There.
It was an exquisite start there for the Japanese team, but Loud managed to bounce back big time here in the half. Mimi, super impressive stuff there from Loud. I mean, even though that last round in Laz, what a play that was, still, they managed to find those wins where they can.
Again, it feels like shades of map number 1, where we come out, ZETA's looking incredible, they have a great understanding of how they want to play the map, and then as we get a little bit later into things, they pull off some of these massive rounds to recover. They figured out the setup that ZETA kept showing and got enough rounds to maybe make something out of the second half.
It definitely felt like at the beginning, this was even more one-sided, the head-to-head between Ten and Aspas. Ten playing very defensively with the Raze, using his utility to punish the aggression, and Aspas felt like he was driving his head into a brick wall over and over and over again. And yet, the later you got, the more you started to see them figure this out. And I think on the other side of things as well, once you start to get 10 on the attacking half, you know, Aspas will be the one then taking better duels where he's able to defend, but he has 2 people to defend against. It's not just 10 there, it's 10 and Death.
Yeah, and talk of 2 people, it will be that kind of double entry duo, and we already got to see some of that in the first half. This pistol round was absolute insanity out of ZETA. Both that Neon and the Raze running all the way in, a smoke to follow it up. The util coordination between those 2 really adds a lot to this map. I think for those trap plays, as well as for those forward executes, this comp works superbly, but in the second half now, it's going to be them working in conjunction, and we saw in some of those retakes how ZETA was struggling to play out that trade game. It's so important now that they're heading to their attack.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out how they want to try and approach this, but from what we've seen, Sideshow, I'm feeling pretty good for ZETA here. I actually do think that we could be going to a map 3 with how things have played out so far.
They've definitely adjusted their style. They used to play shorties in tower, the judge also all over the place. We've seen that from them, but we've also seen an aggressive side to the game that didn't appear to be there before. And if they can do that on the defense, I think that they should be able to pull it out here on attack too.
Yeah, well, here we go, guys. The pressure is on for ZETA. They got to force this game 3. Can they do it in this half? Let's send it back over to Doug and Bala.
Bala, as much as this may look like the exact same picture we just saw, history suggests that it's not going to end the same. Again, ZETA leaning into their strengths here on the attacking half.
Yeah, it's really interesting, actually. The fact that we look at this comp now and we look at it on the attack. How is it going to work, right? We've actually seen a little bit of this from Edward Gaming. But the thing is, you have to be fast because you run out of this bursty style really, really, really quickly. If you don't get something going beginning, then it's going to hurt, right? You only have the 3 Brimstokes and that Neon Wall. You have to get your duelist in. A complete shift in styles.
Much like we saw in the first half, this time it's Last who's here by himself, and there's the vintage take that we've seen so many times. But patience out from him as he holds his position. He's overstayed his welcome. Sugar Zero gets the spike down. And now you've got to deal with the flank, and it's a 3-man flank at that too. And because of that, they can't just afford to leave one person there. You see all of the attention of ZETA turning to the southern side of the map, and the timing's not great! The timing's abysmal! Grow not able to get anything, 10 not either! They've taken that space right back. Laz holding this angle. Pancata's so weak, and he knows they're there. He's spotted ahead. He's able to get away. How much space can Sugar Zero find as he's the one who's going on a crazy flank, but Tazi's just going to hold the defuse. He's going to get it himself. Loud win the second pistol.
They were forced into tree to try to fight the challenge on the backside. But that one hurts because they got the entry. And Crow was here. They had a crossfire set up. It's just not really finding the value. I mean, you can see it right there. The insta swing from the player's tree. Crow's just not ready. And then the problem after that is they have already the smoke's falling. Remember what I said, you have to get in the site. You have to really get positioned inside of the site too. The smokes fell and they had no cover when they were falling out of tree, when they realized that that tree push was gonna be powerful and they couldn't fight it.
No force out from ZETA here. They're opting to just go with the pistols that they have. And with that comes patience. And perhaps the testing of the waters towards B. They've got 4 that way. Fault line to try to clear things out, but the live from Sadak, excellent play.
Toxin screen down.
Interesting too to see how they prioritize where the orb is going. But they have let one slip past. 10 has gotten through. Again, mind you, he doesn't have, all he has is a sheriff, but he could cause problems here if they establish enough control on this side of the map.
Yeah, if Les wants to reposition into tower, which I don't think he will. He wants to stay on his anchor.
Oh, they know.
They're so aware.
Yeah, they know they've lost it. A second flash. Les has to look away. There was the real threat. 10 falls, Sugar Zero does 2. Pro should follow. Yeah, this was a difficult situation to begin with, and the window to convert was, I mean, minuscule.
Yeah, 30 seconds still here.
left.
Laz gets 1, but it is, the window's gone.
Yeah.
You're right. It's just gone, and I'm concerned here because we might have seen, you know, stats that showed that ZETA's very good on attack on this map, but this is an entirely different comp. 14 seconds left, still 1v3, no chance to plant the spike. It's an entirely different comp, right? And the strengths of this comp are the bursty style of it, with Depp playing the Neon, and again, what you have for tools to follow up on anything.
Right, flash is clear the way. Yeah.
You actually had Laz lurking on the entire other side of the map at that point, right? Where they're actually already pushing on the site. I don't necessarily see that they're leaning into those strengths just yet.
We'll see if they do it here, as this is a gun round for them. 2 people in light armor. But you're right, this is where you expect, okay, what's this composition built for? It's built to go fast, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case here.
Don't forget, on a sense, only one round won from ZETA
And
when
what
they
a-
flipped to attack.
And what a freaking miracle that was.
That's true, too.
I took every bit of, like, lucky juice that they had. Les already tagged up. They have a good idea of where they're coming from, and he just stays so late.
I kind of like that, too, from Depp to not even challenge, knowing he's going to TP eventually.
He just bullies him out of the way. Okay,
I
yep,
mean, come on now.
sure. And now the nade keeps him back. Crow gets the spike down. Depp looking to push forward. The paranoia is there, and he just, Sadak never hit the ground.
There.
His body did.
Yeah. He's got a Bulldog, you've got a Spectre, and then you have a Sheriff. So you have some tools to work with here. They're both going to be coming down from the drop.
One enemy remaining.
They're really, just like that, it's extinguished. Aspas flirting with death. Trying to deliver a bit of his own. Still has Mutil, understanding the challenge is inevitable. He takes one with him, but just traded out.
But ZETA do what they weren't able to do in the prior map, right? Win the anti-bonus. Force Loud to be in an economic disadvantage. Not disadvantage, but not gain momentum.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So they'll hold on to the lead just slightly. But again, that time, Loud didn't really have the tools to stop any of that pressure that was going on. Les didn't have all he had was his headhunter.
And if you're Loud here, knowing that you won 5 rounds in a row before that one, going back into the first half, you expect that round to go their way. Obviously, if they win it out, it's great.
Sure.
But I don't think they shouldn't be feeling any worse about the situation.
Traditional one-way control in halls from Loud with his comp. And it's the Viper, and that's...
It's a good opener for Laz. And again, the hit, but take a look at Sadak. Sadak's playing with fire. He's so dangerous, and he goes forward, gets a kill onto Depp.
Where's the rest of the players? They don't get in the sight there. The Molly was so good, and they just don't try to challenge. It's a Molly and a Viper Orb, so yes, it's definitely going to do some damage, but nobody's there to help Depp.
And honestly, if not for Sadak swinging back into that, I mean, who expects a Viper there?
For sure, but he knows vulnerable players on the other side. It's a good play from Sadak.
Sure.
Problem here, ZETA, one smoke. One smoke left.
And dire straits here. Again, Laz trying to cause some noise towards B, and that he falls too. But you're starting to see some of the rotations go over. Just as quickly as that happens, Pancata swings back off of the Brimstone smokes that go down. Spike has not made its way out of hallway yet. They've been kept at bay, but they finally explode out, and they get the kills that they need to take control of the site. Sugar Zero with the plan. Aspas has arrived, though, with 30 HP, spamming into that smoke. And now you've got the Orbital Strike you're going to have to deal with, too. A 2v2 here. Sadak,
He spammed him through the ults!
Sadak has his ult, too. If they really want to invest into this, they can secure it. It's going to have to be heroics from Sugar Zero yet again. Can he hold them back by himself? Oh, and if he isolates the gunfights, he's gonna get what he's looking for. He's got it to 1v1, and Sadak saves the day. 4 on the round.
The IGL is a monster. He just dives through on that B execute, just shuts it down.
Freaking loony.
And then he stays strong in this one too, actually, as well. This kill on the depth, okay, whatever. Stops the push, most importantly. Gets Laz, who's trying to flank, maybe make some space, but this right here.
Wow.
If they get that crossfire, that round plays entirely different, right? Sugar Zero has room to play. Aspas doesn't get easy Hall's control.
Laz has his ult. They still have Sadok's Viper's Pit. Pancata is his ult as well.
You want to play? Let's play.
I hear that Tour de Force online. A little bit of push towards A. The Prowler keeps him back for now. And where do they go off of this? You see Depth starting to rotate back. Rendezvous with his team. You've got this one way that you mentioned in the previous round is so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, they're set up to nade, paranoia, Prowler push, right? As soon as there's anything, actually they're just gonna go through it. That gives information. You saw how far away he was.
Yeah.
That sound of his Vandal. But they're not reacting exactly how I would expect off of that.
Another one-way dropped from Pancata.
They're being really slow on reclearing right now. They're worried about this dish. ZETA has a lot of space here in Arcade. There's only 2 players here, but Sadak is here still.
And he still has that Viper's Pit. Hasn't used it yet. But surely at any sign of threat, goes down. There it is.
Les can re-peek here in tower. He's there, challenging Depth.
This section's last off. He's got to go forward if he wants to deal with this, or else this Viper's Pit is going to continue to be a problem. Especially as the round goes on, reinforcements are going to arrive. Now you have the Nightfall. You're going to have to deal with 2. Laz out of the equation. Yeah, they got the spike down, but there's still so much room. Loud can work within.
Depth going on the fast flank through underpass. He's going to try to pinch Sadak right now.
The Viper's Pit has to be cleared out. And there it goes.
Dropped.
They drop it, and Depth is there just in the nick of time. They weren't expecting for it to fall, and they still maintain control.
What a decision, too. He just lets it fall.
Yeah.
That gives him so much more room to actually get through. And don't forget, Spike was not inside of it. So eventually they're going to have to exit. Rather take it on their own terms, and they do. I mean, really nice stuff. It's a cool setup, too. Les, who's playing an off angle right behind that box inside of Arcade. Tower TP for him. And it's set up so that he can maintain control of tower, even though he dies there, for Sadak to have plenty of space to peek out of that pit, to hold on to the pit. All the different variables and variations are possible there. Look at the scoreline for him, 21-12.
He's leading from the front. He's far from done. Perfectly healthy. Oh gosh, I thought he was gonna hit that. Boy, that was close. Thing is, they haven't explored this dish space a ton, other than Depth's antics with the orbital strike. The alarm bot cleared out, the nades, now they're gonna fumble through. Oh, that ult went through. It's time for a little root and toot and finger shooting, and he gets a kill on Sassy. With 5 HP, how much more can he find? He pushes forward, just dances around the other side of the box, and they swing at the same time, but let's get to both. They were so freaking weak.
That is ridiculous. Again, the players on Loud are simply showing up. Les and Sadak right now. Les in the last game and then Les in this round 2, but Sadak entirely this game. It's just too easy.
Even tried jumping into the one-way.
The pinch is happening too, man. That's just silly. That's just silly.
Loud, really from, what, the third to, you see it on the timeline, like, they haven't given up very much control and momentum.
Yeah.
Win the last 3 rounds of the first half and just kind of cruise their way through.
Sure.
And I know it's not over yet, but this does feel very reminiscent of Ascent. ZETA won 1 round.
Yeah.
That's all they've won so far.
Much difficult task ahead for ZETA Division. They've got to figure something out because, again, I hate to bring it back, but this composition has gaps. The only success I've seen from teams who run the double duelists on this map, Paperex and Edward Gaming, right? Those two teams are difficult to replicate. And ZETA's a slow team.
Yeah,
Both
like
those teams are the opposite extreme.
And even if they, you know, we've seen what, one round, as you were saying, where they tried leaning into that, and then the molly kept him back, right? Like they. It seems like they are very hesitant to commit to the go button, and this composition is built around go.
Yeah. The nice thing is, speaking like the game's already over. Let me wait a little bit, because ZETA Division right now has such good things going for them, but they also have such bad things in terms of what's happening on these attack sides.
8 of the last 9 rounds in favor of Loud. How much more can they get? Here's a little bit of aggression. Here's a little bit of go.
There's pace, and there's only one player here. Sadak again, though. Flash could push him back.
Or he can just walk back.
He's staying on site, though.
You've got less close by with an op
Oh, that's
to
a cool
help.
stun.
Molly to delay. And just like that, you're not going to easily find your way in. You see the showstopper come through. Crow falls. The delay is there, and 10 tries to find one of his own, but how? How does that not kill him? Sugar Zero has his ult. Does he commit to it? There's a paranoia as they're flanking in from the opposite side. Pancado applying pressure.
He's doing it.
If 10 can get away, maybe. But the thing is, the spike is there. They have to commit to this. They do not have the options to flip the map. They get picked to shreds, 1 by 1. Unless 10 can punch back, and no, he cannot.
There's just nothing. After their initial try fails, they try to come out of tower, but there's nothing there. Because the flank is coming so fast. That time you realize Sadak was completely alone on this side. And there all of a sudden, no north side control, even though they start the round coming through that side. And you just get completely ripped apart from all sides. And that's the body language of somebody who's out of ideas.
Yeah, and have fully lost, control of a situation. But they continue. This time they're going, again, with some more tempo, with some more pace, and we've seen...
They can't let up.
Yeah.
This is what they need. They cannot let up. It's only, again, the same strat from Loud. Sadak alone.
Sadak alone, and Sadak is enough. And remember, you have less close by. And you've also got Pancado who's arrived. The paranoia there, Sugar Zero holding his nerve, getting the spike down, understanding there's cover, understanding there's pressure. And Crow tries to take the fight to Loud's doorstep. Can they stop the bleeding here?
Oh.
They've gotten it down to a 2v2, and they both have rifles.
What a shot. They started this round with only pistols. It was an eco from ZETA.
Oh, Laz, down to 5 HP. So heavily messed up. The thing is, they have time on their side.
How?
The spike ticking away.
Oh my goodness.
Gun barrel betrays him. He gets it down to a 2v1. Can Pancado do this? Really no reason not to go for it.
Dude, it's not planted for Laz.
Surely not. Surely you don't go behind him. Oh, he hears it. Depp cleans it out. ZETA get to 9.
I've seen this before. Another thrifty round win.
Gotta go.
The first opponent for ZETA's Miracle Run was a Brazilian team in NIP, and it was a very similar round where they pulled out a thrifty when they needed it most. But this, such a tough ask. What a shot.
That shot was filthy.
I mean, the fact that he's able to reposition, he takes the gamble too, because moments ago there was a player holding the back of Jen.
Loud not calling a timeout here. Hanging on to the 2-round lead. You hear Tour de Force on for less. Flash in his face.
Oh, they're past
Laz has gotten
this.
past the smoke, yeah.
There's no fade to Prowler here.
Do they know? Surely they expected off the flash. There's someone there! But Laz with reckless abandon swings into 10, gets a kill, and then gets the heck out.
Sadak is here. Dad has to win this.
And he can't. There it is. The tip of the spear has been blunted. The question has been, what else can they find off of that? So far, nothing. Nothing at all. A prime gaming flawless for Loud as they get to series point.
Normally this would be a situation you look, you say nothing left for ZETA, but somehow Laz has 7.1K. So much money in the bank. They still have a chance to bring this to double digits. Loud completely understand what the situations for them winning against this comp are on their defensive side. Shut down, at least get that first entry, delay the rest of the push. And ZETA just has no follow-up.
I feel like Sugar Zero has been holding on.
Both of these guys, man.
Yeah, but the ults, right? Sugar Zero and Crow have been holding on to their ults for a long time. And those are key exec ults.
Yeah, Orbital Strike and the Rolling Thunder here.
Create so much space, you cause so much havoc. And it's just been held.
The buy is actually very weak from ZETA.
Yeah.
Because Laz elects to go for an op.
And he had the bank for it. But on the
Doesn't
attack
drop
side,
anybody.
Yeah.
Attack side op here from Laz. And he is probably the most proficient, consistent opper on the server. Everybody else opting to not use it as much, right? Nobody's a primary opper. But there's 2 Spectres, and other than Laz, all 4 players here from ZETA have light armor. So this timeout is crucial. The last timeout from ZETA. And they'll have to get through one of Loud's 2. Must-win round, obviously. Match point here from Loud.
So much stacked up against him, man.
And the tactic has to be strong. What are they going to choose to do? It looks slow again. They don't want to challenge Halls early.
Bring them down.
I mean, shoot fast hasn't worked.
And the nice thing here, Loud has a trap play on Arcade. But Laz is the guy who's here. So he can spring this and easily get out to safety.
Quick peek, no one there.
Pancada's just shifting, right? No matter which side they're going to, he's
Yeah.
got a paranoia ready for them. This is so slow. ZETA look like they're expecting Loud to push in that timeout, after that timeout.
Yeah.
Go for that north side push for some reason, or potentially flip it and go for a tree push, but it just doesn't come.
I think Sadak just creeped up past Dish, cleared out the alarm bot that they had, and then took the orb out.
He's got ult. You're right.
So not only do they feel pressure from the northern side of the map because the alarm bot has been cleared, but he has his ult, as you were saying.
But there's nobody here actually on site. There's Boombot.
No way.
Wow.
Go, go, go.
Position given now, they have to go. With 38 seconds left, they smoke off both Sassy and Aspas. So Orbital Strike, there it is. It now comes through. Got the Rolling Thunder to work with 2. Unless they choose to save that for
30
retake or
seconds
something. Sadak is going to be the last at the party. Remember, he has that ultimate online from the beginning of the round.
Is there utility here to deny this? Yes, the Molly just landed. He's going to stick the plan anyways. Sugar Zero's going to be so low.
And there goes, dead. The Viper spit out from Sadak.
Oh, they lost.
Providing cover, yeah, they've lost everything. The Nightfall and the Rolling Thunder pass.
No! Deb!
Deb not able to find anything. Crow and Laz left alone. Laz and Crow have both gotten a couple of big kills. They've gotten Deb down to a 1v2. Laz op shot misses. He's still in so much trouble. And they're just gonna double face him. Yeah, he gets one. But Les gets it at the end. The defuse comes through. A 2-0